Hi ladies, it's Kanika and you're watching the Smart Pregnancy series. Today we are very lucky. I have my very own physical therapist with us, Renuka Pinto. Thank you for joining us. So Renuka, tell us about your career and how it started. I understand you started with athletes first.
Right. I'm a trained sports therapist from the University of Melbourne in Australia, and I started my career working with pro athletes. When I moved to America, I got to work with the WTA, which is the Women's Tennis Association, and during that time, I traveled throughout the world working at Grand Slams, working with former world number ones, the Williams sisters, Maria Sharapova.
Yeah, absolutely. That must have been so cool.
Yes, it was.
Yes. So how did you transition from sports medicine to pregnancy?
Well, I didn't want to travel anymore, and I decided to lay down some roots, and New York City was that place. And so I joined this practice in downtown Manhattan, and it's a women's health sports medicine practice. And after a year into the practice, I got pregnant with my first child, but I didn't want to be the patient whom I was treating at the practice. So I looked at pregnancy as the biggest sporting event of my life with my first child, and I applied everything I know about sports medicine to pregnancy, the discipline of an athlete, the hydration, the diet, the exercise, and everything. And out of that came a very healthy, pain-free pregnancy. And that's when I developed the P3 program, which is similar to an athlete's way of looking at it. So P3 is plan, prepare, and prevent your first trimester, right? People talk about nausea, they talk about fatigue, they talk about, oh my gosh, what's hit me? And that's the same thing if you train for a marathon, you know,
right.
You're running these distances for the first time. Of course you're going to have fatigue. Of course you're going to have nausea. I mean, come on, it's a marathon you're
totally
training
natural,
for.
yeah.
And then you get into that groove, and that's your second trimester, and everything's happy and everything's good, and you know, you go with the flow. And then comes the third trimester, and then you're like, okay, it's the countdown, it's that finish line. And so you'll have the same thing, you know, you can have the anxiety, you want this baby out, you're not sure what you're going to do, it's performance anxiety. An athlete goes through it, but you can't approach it with a fear factor. You've got to approach it from a total, I'm training for this, my body can do this, and this is what I need to do with my body. And so that's why I feel that it's something that all women should embrace. Like, look at pregnancy as training as an athlete versus treating it as a medical condition where you are, you know, unable to have control over your body or yourself.
No, that's really empowering. And I'm quickly realizing in my second trimester that it is a marathon and not a sprint.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
So true. So athletes have really mastered how to breathe as they train, and that is probably my biggest difficulty. And I'm sure a lot of other pregnant women out there can feel my pain. I am asthmatic, and it's just harder for me to breathe now that I have this growing in. So tell me some tactics that I can, you know, use at home to make sure that I'm breathing okay and there's enough oxygen for the baby.
So breath is most important because it's the vehicle of sending all that oxygen into all your muscles. And so of course in pregnancy you're concerned about, you know, the fetus or the baby getting all that oxygen. And there's a couple of ways we can breathe. We can breathe through the upper chest, we can breathe through the diaphragm, which is your main breathing muscle, and then you can breathe through the sides, which is called the lateral costals. And so the air needs to come in and go right into your lungs, and then it goes through the rest of your body. So for you, being an asthmatic, having that, you know, tightness here, I think for you focusing on getting that air into your belly is really important. So I usually say, think of letting that, when you're breathing in, think of letting that breath go as deep and deep and deep as possible right into your belly. And that's really easy now because you said you're in your second trimester. But come third, you might not be able to get that deep breath right into that belly. So then you can always use it your side or and breathe into your waist.
So how do you actually breathe through your side? Do you visualize it?
I usually think you should know where your sides are, and I usually say just keeping your hands there and just think of yourself as you want to fill your hands up with air. So if you want to cup your sides and just think, oh, I want to pull my palms apart, or I want to fill in my hand. Yep. Can you feel that?
Yes, yes.
And then you just want it to just collapse out. Yeah. And that thing you did just where you pursed your lips, that's really important because if you start to learn that now, when you actually get through labor, that's a really cool thing that will help you get through that labor pain. learning to do
Yes,
that.
blow out.
Yep, yep.
And so you can breathe in through your nose and
Out through your mouth. Yep.
Okay.
To avoid or to reduce the breathlessness in pregnancy, the best thing to do is to be aware of where you breathe from. So we're going to see whether you're more of an upper breather or a lateral breather. So if you keep your hands here, just take a deep breath in and out, and you can see how you move up here, and you're going to keep your hands down here. So take a deep breath in and out. So there's two parts to breathing, one's from the top and one's from the bottom. So what I want you to do is keep your hand on your chest, and when you breathe, I want you to try and fill the area behind your back.
Okay.
So right behind that, I want you to put air into that, and I want you to feel that rise and fall of your chest. Good. And take a deep breath in and out. Good. Another nice tool to use is a measuring tape, and it will show you how much you're really actually putting air into your lungs in this bottom part. So you're going to put this thing around your waist or on your lower ribs right here, and you're going to hold on to that. Perfect. And now I want you to breathe, so you move this by an inch. So breathe into that tape. Breathe, that's it. And now let it come back. And breathe and come back. Good. And breathe and come back. Good. Can you feel that move?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and if you practiced about 5 breaths into your lower ribs, 5 breaths into your upper chest and into your back, what that does is it allows the entire lung to fill up with air. And having that extra air helps the oxygen, takes the fatigue away, and helps the breathing. So practice this twice a day, 5 breaths here, 5 breaths in the back, and 5 breaths into the side.
Well, thank you again, Renuka. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on breathing and mastering your breathing during your pregnancy. It has been really invaluable for me. I can take a sigh of relief that I've learned this from you. And stay tuned, more to come on the Smart Pregnancy series.